Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lip Gloss and Ladders. It's your host, KB. And I'm here with my lovely co-host, Gabby. How you doing today?
It is Raven Sunday, so I'm good.
Okay, Raven Sunday, Lion Sunday. You know it's always going to be football Sunday. What about you, Reese?
I'm great. I'm great. Like I said, Raven Sunday. Hopefully they won't embarrass us. Fingers crossed.
I mean, it's not starting good, but we got time. We got time.
Don't blow any leads, please. Please.
I'm only rooting for them just for y'all. That's it. That's it.
Appreciate you.
Same.
Appreciate that.
And how are you, Ashley?
I'm doing good. Another chill Sunday, ready to have a great show with y'all.
Yes. So the last episode we talked about SmackDown. So why not? Let's get into Raw. So this past Monday, Raw started, went back to 2 hours, but we'll get more into details about that soon. And there has been an advertisement for Raw on Netflix. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, missed
I'm
it.
starting to see it.
I have yet to see it. I haven't been on Netflix. I'm always going on Hulu, and Hulu be getting on my nerves. So it's just like,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Hulu is the interface is terrible.
Yeah.
That and Max.
listen, Hulu be clipping and snipping all types of stuff. So it's just like when
Cutting the women's matches.
yep. And I noticed that a couple weeks ago
Already
when I think when no actually years ago actually when Rhea and Bianca was champion and Rhea came out and they cut that part. I'm like, I missed it. I can't go back to see it. So yeah, ever since then I've just been over Hulu. So let's get this episode started. We're gonna do some fun facts about Raw. Raw debuted on January 11th in 1993, and it replaced Primetime Network, which was on the show, which lasted 8 years. So for it to replace a 8-year show, Raw has been, you know, Raw has been going on since about over 30 years actually. That is amazing for a TV show to go over. And another fun fact is they used to record 2 episodes in one week. They'll have one episode would be live, and then they record another episode the next day on Tuesday, and they'll be pre-taped for the following week.
It's like every other week.
Yep. Every other week will be live, and then the other one will be pre-taped. So it kind of makes sense to why when they did the pilot for SmackDown, the ropes was red. Instead of just doing a Raw episode, they just did SmackDown instead.
Yeah, it makes sense. Today years old again.
Yep. Definitely. So also during Monday Night Raw, it was the popular Monday Night Wars between um WWF at the time and WCW, and it lasted 83 weeks between June of 96 and April of 98. So as someone who did not have cable, I could not see Raw. So did anybody catch the Monday Night Wars, or they flip back and forth, or did they have a choice? Reese, what's your preference?
I preferred WCW because I love the cruiserweights, and I told you the person who got me into wrestling was a Kevin Nash fan. So when Nash was out, he was out. I didn't really get back into Raw until Chris Jericho made the jump.
Got it. And then Gabby, you had your hand up too.
Yeah. So I flipped back and forth, but like if I had to pick, I was gonna watch WCW. But for the sake of wrestling, me and my brother used to flip back and forth, or his TV would be on Raw, and my TV would be on WCW. We'd like run back and forth to kind of maximize our time, so we're not flipping back and forth as much. But yeah, if I had to pick, I was a WCW girl.
That actually was a good plan because if something happened,
See?
you could just run to the room like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Rooms right next to each other, so we literally just like, boop, like Jason, come here, Gabby, come here.
Yep. That definitely works. So, of course, when I started watching SmackDown, I only could get the highlights of Raw. And of course, I never really watched WCW. So, another fun fact that Raw was originally 60 minutes. And I noticed that when I started binging Raw, I was like, the episodes are going by quick. And then it was 60 minutes from January of 93 all the way to January 27th, 1997. Then it went to 2 hours for February 3rd of 97 all the way to July 16th of 2012. And I really thought Monday Night Raw was 3 hours during the Attitude Era, but I see it was only 2 hours. And it became 3 hours during the time I wasn't watching wrestling. So it went to 3 hours, July 23rd of 2012, all the way to September 30th, 2024. And they went back to 2 hours starting last week. So me personally, I'm for the 2 hours because it's like, okay, I go to bed. That's just me.
Literally, same Z
Yeah.
girl. Like I can go. It's like that last hour of Raw. It was something like I really, really wanted to watch. Baby, I was sleeping. I would have to catch it the next morning. Like y'all know, we'd be in the group chat after about 9:30. Gabby's probably not going to respond. I'm knocked out. Y'all know that. Like I'll catch you in the morning, like 6 or 7. But like,
Right.
I love the fact that it's 2 hours. Like perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a sweet spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that 2012. I feel like Raw has been 3 hours forever. Not Attitude Era. I know it wasn't Attitude Era, but I felt like it was earlier than that. That Raw was 3 hours. But I do remember being able to be like, 3 hours is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And actually
Yeah.
having to work, so that does make sense. But it just made me feel old.
Definitely. I didn't think I thought it was 3 hours this entire time, but yeah, like I said, going back and binging, I was like, oh, it's only an hour. But now with so many superstars, I get to why it got to be for a longer length of time.
Mhm.
So Ashley, did you catch the past Raw for 2 hours? What did you think? Did you think it was good? It was bad? It was what?
I thought it was a little rushed. It was giving a little rushed,
Okay.
but it makes sense since it was the first 2 hour episode. So I'm imagining that they're going to be able to transition. I mean, honestly, all they got to do is just see what they're doing down in NXT. They're able to optimize every single minute that they have of those 2 hours for the women and the men.
Mhm.
So I don't like how they had that 10-woman tag match and everybody just came out to Natalia's music. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Of course the women are gonna the first people to suffer from the 2 hour drop. But
Yeah.
overall, I think it's a right move. I'm curious to see how it's gonna go and curious to see if they bring the 3 hours back for Netflix.
To piggyback off your point, Ash, with the 2 hour Raw and it's being like the women being rushed. It's like the women can get on a 3 hour Raw. So now I'm really worried because, like, again, like you said with NXT, Shawn Michaels has really demonstrated being able to fit. I never get tired. I know who all the women are. I'm like, I might not know her name, but I've at least seen her in a backstage segment. At least he's good at getting the women on TV. I feel like we're gonna start edging dangerously close into Give Divas a Chance era. With
Let's
this,
hope not.
I'm fingers crossed, praying, but like I think we're edging dangerously because we were already headed there. So I think we're right now with the 2 hour Raw, we're heading dangerously close. Like, and as much as I love Mommy, as much as I love Liv, there are more than 2 women on Raw, and
Absolutely.
they're still attached to the men at some point. So it's just like,
Yeah.
let's see where they go with that. But hopeful.
Yeah, we remain hopeful, optimistic.
I think this will give them some chance to kind of work some of the kinks out before they get over to Netflix. Like, you know how it is. Like, you got to give it a few tries so you get it down pat. Hopefully, they can work these kinks out sooner than later. Because it was a little rough on Monday.
It was. I agree with all the statements, and I really hope it doesn't go back to Give Divas a chance because what happened on SmackDown, I'm not even gonna get on that, but that was just.
It was a thing. It happened.
Yeah.
My husband literally, the way his head snapped when Kevin Owens came out, he looked directly at me because he just knew that I was about to rant.
Listen,
I'm a KO stan. I love KO down. I was like, why you gotta be out here? No, okay.
Yeah.
They could have did it after the match. Honestly, it would have worked after the match for sure. I didn't like how they was cut off, and I didn't like how the match was 2 minutes. It was just like, why are we going back to this? This was a waste.
But
unless they're using it to run it back, like Halloween Havoc, something like that, then like sure, I guess, fingers crossed, maybe. But yeah, no, I agree. That was kind of like you gave us what we wanted, and then you're like, I'm actually not gonna give you what you want.
yeah,
like
super fake out.
Trash.
But those 2 minutes though, Lash and Jakara look great. Those 2 minutes, they
Rockstar.
whatever offense they were given, they made themselves look like $1 million. So I was really, really happy that they were still able to optimize the opportunity. But let's hope that they get that rematch at Halloween Havoc.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
I'm,
crossed.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so for sure. So, last fun fact: the networks that Raw was on USA and TNN/Spike TV, and they're now going to move forward to Netflix starting next year. Are you guys excited about the Netflix era?
Yeah. I'm excited to see what
I'm
they
super
do
excited.
for sure. They
I'm
won't be
curious to
the
how this plays out because, like, with the editing and like, can they say certain things? Can they do certain things? I'm kind of very curious, like, how Netflix is going to allow them to cook.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree on that one. I wonder, like, if they're gonna have limits, if they just gonna be able to do whatever they want to do. Is it gonna change the ratings? Like, how is this going to play out?
Yeah.
and they won't be the longest running episodic TV show anymore because
Which is
That's
it's
true.
crazy.
not on TV.
They had the Simpsons beat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the Simpsons was number one.
Because they take off. The Simpsons take off. WWE doesn't take off. They run 52 weeks a
Oh,
Seasons. Yep.
year. Yep. They run 52 weeks a year. So they are the longest
Wow.
running episodic television show in history, but they will no longer hold that title once they move over to Netflix.
That's crazy.
I mean, a couple $1 billion will do that. I'm just saying 10 billion. I don't care about
Listen.
any.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
10 billion. Don't let them have the freedom to do whatever they want to. Oh, they about to go in if they get the freedom.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how far they push the boundary, and also I can't wait for like the production update. Just because I loved what they did with SmackDown, I love what they did with NXT. I'm hoping that we get like maybe a new stage. I know that they don't really do that anymore because they want to be able to pack out the arenas, but I don't know, bring some like personality back to Raw and SmackDown, some a little bit more distinction.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is all of the fun facts of Monday Night Raw.
All right, let's get into some favorites. I already know the answer to this question, I feel like, but we're gonna talk about favorite logos. Now, for me personally, my favorite logo, the Raw's War logo. I feel like that's such a
Same.
classic,
Same.
perfect logo. Oh, wish they go back. I do. The Raw's War logo, hands
Iconic.
down, is my
It's
fave.
definitely iconic. It's definitely my favorite as well.
All right, what about you guys, Gabby? You agree?
Oh,
The
girl.
Raw's
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Roswell.
Raw's War, yeah,
Roswell all
Raw's
day.
War.
Like, I'm not really a fan of the new Raw logos at all.
Same.
It's just like Raw's
Yeah.
here. Maybe you feel the same.
I feel the same. You know what? I just thought of another fun fact. So during the Monday Night Wars, they will split it into half based on the time that was running. So the first half of Raw will be Raw's War. The second half will be Warzone.
Yep. Forgot about that.
I did. I definitely forgot about that. Yes, hidden gems. I definitely forgot about that. Well, because
Yo, Warzone was lit.
Warzone was supposed to be like the more adult
Exactly.
hour, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The second half.
That's dope.
Which we had to see, the flashing and all kinds of stuff in Warzone.
We're not gonna talk about that right now, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, now let's get into favorite themes. So I'm gonna let Gabby go first. What is your favorite theme from Raw?
Honestly, I gotta go with the OG.
The OG.
I
can see that.
But that's just nostalgia. That's just like the nostalgia person. Like, I like the old school, like SmackDown stuff. Like, I'm very much like, I like the OG.
For sure. KB.
I gotta go to the Ruthless Aggression era. The move to the music. That is mine all day.
Yes. So I don't know how. Another fun fact. I don't know how true this is. This is something that I heard. I heard that was supposed to originally be Tessa's theme song.
Mm.
And Vince was like, "It's too good for you." I don't know if actually it could
It's
either
too
be
good
the
for you.
yeah. Again, Vince McMahon must be stopped. But I think it was either that or the whoa, like that one that was supposed to be for Tess, and Vince McMahon was like, "No, no."
Although I see it, like I feel like that could be true. Like you somebody hear rumors, you're like, man, not like that. Vince being like, that's too good for you. Absolutely, that absolutely tracks.
100%.
Yeah.
100 tracks.
100%. Ash, what about you?
I really liked Beautiful People, the Marilyn Manson one.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
That one's
that
awesome. Yeah, that one's
one.
I
awesome.
love that one.
I love that one
That
too.
one's
We've had a good Raw has had a great run with themes. You know, up until band who should not be named. Got their hand on because it's like I think that's the problem with this Raw theme as well. Like it sounds like Solo Sokoa's theme music to me, and I can't really
Yeah.
get with it because the same person that does his theme music does the Raw entrance, and to me it just feels like I can't get jiggy with it. But mine is definitely "Wanna Be Loved" by Papa Roach, which is I think that's the true theme. But then of course move to the music. Yeah, like, that is like you gotta do it, but I just love the wow. That is my favorite theme. All right, now, meat and potatoes. What are some of you guys' favorite Raw moments?
Y'all know I got some deep cuts, so I'm gonna let y'all go first.
I can go first. Like
Yes.
one of my favorite moments is when The Rock was doing a backstage interview and he cut a promo on Rikishi, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Triple H. That was legendary.
Iconic.
Yes, iconic for sure.
You got to know what I'm talking about. Everybody should know this one. It still plays to this day. That's one of my favorite moments. Another moment of mine is also The Rock, but it was also Chris Jericho. This is when they was doing an invasion angle and they were just clowning Stephanie, Rhino, Booker T. Like they was like Booker T, what's 2 plus 2? Thomas Jefferson, sucker. Like listen. Chris Jericho was like, we're going against the gore and the whore. Like the
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they went in. Like if you've never seen it, you gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Also, December 6th, Lita and Trish main evented Monday night. I believe it was in 2004. And then about 20 years later, December 6th, it's either 2021 or 2022. Liv and Becky main evented Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So December 6th, that's like a holiday.
Good date.
Holiday. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, holiday.
I love that.
And another moment of mine is when Lita won the women's championship against Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
It was main event also, but they don't consider it the women's main event because they had the Rock's refereeing, but they also had Kurt Angle and Triple H and all of them involved as well. But this is when she won her first title, and that was I remember when it recapped on SmackDown. I was so happy, like she finally got her title because I'm a leader girl, and I was in room for her this entire time. So those are my moments.
Those are good moments.
They are some great moments.
All right. So for me, probably one of my first like introductions into the Attitude Era was Stone Cold and Mike Tyson, just their face off in the ring. That's like one of my favorite Raw moments. I love it, love it, love it. Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, their first main eventing of Raw when Sasha won the belt, the Raw Women's Championship. That goosebumps to this day. Goosebumps to this day. Becky Lynch, Birth of the Man. Nia Jax,
Yeah.
Nia Jax socking her in the face, and she completely owns that moment. Now, something that's completely in infamy forever in wrestling history. A little bit of a controversial one. Every couple of months, this like trends on Twitter, and everybody gets super upset. The AJ Lee pipe bomb, where she drags all the divas, in the ring. That is a very, very, very controversial, polarizing moment, to say the least.
She went
And undeserved, some might say. Me. But my last one would have to be, speaking of like the WCW Monday Night Wars, Mick Foley winning the first ever his first ever WWE championship.
I have that on my list.
That is mine as well.
It's such a good moment. It's such a good. It's a classic. It's such a good feel good moment. So those are my moments.
All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm like, yeah, you go last because I cannot wait to see these deep cuts. So for me, one of my favorite moments, of course, is when Chris Jericho debuted before he started talking outside of wrestling. That is one of my favorite debuts. I can recite it word for word, like him going against The Rock. I was so excited about it because one of my friends in middle school was like, Chris Jericho's going to be on Raw tonight. How do you feel about that? And I said, no, he's not. He said, I bet you he will. And so I literally did not tune into WCW that whole day. I watched Chris Jericho debut. And I was like, oh my God, I was so excited. Another one is the Charlotte and Sasha main event where she won. That is also one of mine. And the Mankind win is definitely one of mine as well. I'm a Mankind girly. And to see that WCW really wanted to like throw salt in the game, and it just made everybody want to tune in even more because they were like, wait, they are? This is great. This is what we want to the title anyway. So him coming on there, it was amazing. Also, there was John Cena and Randy Orton versus the entire locker room.
Yes.
That is
throwback. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's one of my faves as well. All right, Gabby.
All right, y'all. So I got some deep cuts. Do y'all remember Kurt Angle in the milk truck?
Yes.
Kurt Angle was gold that era.
He truly was. Like, truly, sincerely, that was gold. Y'all remember Stone Cold and the Zamboni?
Yes.
One of my favorites.
If we don't, okay.
I'm about to see that one.
I'm gonna see what you finish first, and then when you finish, I'm gonna give mine. If you don't give it, because I feel like we're leading there.
No worries. I obviously have Mick Foley on my list as well. I have DX when they impersonated the Nation.
Ooh.
It's a classic moment. Like, I was waiting on someone to say that. Like, you have like
I couldn't because of the because of the implications. I left it off my list.
Oh man.
Oh, Michaels is Brown.
And then my last one.
Right.
My last one is Shawn Michaels versus Triple H in 2003. They had a really good match on Raw. But yeah, I think Kurt Angle in the milk truck, like, classic.
Kurt Angle in the milk truck is a good one. Speaking of chases, Goldust in the Bronco chase.
Another classic.
Again, Goldust, Dustin Rhodes.
He did what he had to do.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do on those.
The fact that he's still going is crazy. But but Raw has some really good ones. The Invasion. Can't forget about the Invasion.
So it's actually funny. I have Invasion on like one of my least favorites.
Really? Ooh, well then let's use that as a nice little segue into our least
just didn't like it. I don't know. It didn't land for me. Like, I see what they were trying to do, and like I don't know. I didn't like it.
That's fair. It didn't end the best.
It didn't.
And then like many years later, you saw the invasion. I mean, sorry, it's SmackDown, but you saw the invasion that NXT had on SmackDown. So like, that's how an invasion should be ran, right? The night that everybody got stuck, and NXT had to come up and work those matches where we got to see Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. Like that's how an invasion should be ran, and they just didn't nail it for me. Like it was a great idea, it just execution didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I
And
get that.
honestly, this is also a little controversial. This is my last one. I didn't really like a lot of the early DX in 1997. Got a little weird for me.
I
I
can see
mean,
that though.
it's very boys club. It's very boys
I
club.
It is.
Didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I can see it. Early DX was rough.
They was reckless.
To say the least, yes.
Shawn Michaels was brown. Like
That's all you need to say. Like that's all you really need to say.
That's the sentence, period.
Yeah.
Clip end.
yeah, like they in concept they were really good. Like the people that they had in DX were really good, but it was a lot. And looking back on it now, I just cringe. So I can definitely see where you're like, no.
Yeah.
Things don't age well. Certain things really don't age well, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
Yes, slut shaming and being brown. That is not again. Shawn Michaels was brown. Like
Yeah. Really got to bring that home. Like, really got to bring that home.
I can see you. That does segue into our least favorite moments. Gabby, are those all the least favorite moments you have? What's another
Yes.
one?
That's all I have on my end.
Okay. Ash, what about you? Least favorite moment?
So for me, I have actually the Raw after Mania, WrestleMania 39. That is the infamous Raw after Mania where Vince came back in control for a couple of months before he ultimately left forever. Thank God. But I just remember there was so much hype around this Raw. And when I was watching it live, I was like, this is unusually bad. Like, unusually bad, like very weird choices. A lot of things like things just did not make sense all around. So gotta throw that one on there. Another one that I have is the whole bark like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just wasn't my favorite. Really didn't like that. And then to round it out is Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. I blacked out of my memory.
I don't blame you. Like I really don't blame you. Every couple of months,
Yeah,
I'm just
I
like, that
forgot about
happened. That happened.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all.
Gabby, what about you? Least favorite?
So since we get into Bobby Lashley, the wedding between him and Lana wasn't bad. It's just that his makeup got on her. I wasn't a fan. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a
when they
detail.
kissed his,
What a
yeah.
detail.
Yeah, his makeup got on her. It transferred like
Jumps
Hannah
on
from
Google.
Love Island.
Oh, yeah.
Powder. Had he known. Yeah, had he known. He needs the correct powder. I could have helped him with that.
Exactly.
You
Another
use a setting spray.
right. I didn't care for Shawn Michaels in blackface.
Yeah.
Another
fair.
moment I didn't like was when they tried to bash Sasha and Naomi for walking out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was gross.
That's something I actually blocked out from my memory. Like that whole May of 2022.
Yeah, that was trash.
That was
trash.
yeah.
And you actually reminded me when you said when Sasha won on Raw, that clip is what got me back into wrestling. But but I didn't like how they got, for walking out for standing for themselves. I just wasn't a fan of it. I think I had one more, but it lost me. So if it come back, I'll bring it up.
Okay. Yeah.
What you got, girl? What you got, girl?
Okay. So this is when I tell you this vehemently makes me mad to this day. Like when we even discussed this episode, like when we're like, oh, let's do Raw next week. I said, I already know what I have for most hated. And it's when this is right after Survivor Series, the Raw after Survivor Series. What was this? When did this thing come? 2014. And we got the Authority finally eradicated. Sting came back. WCW girly here. So happy, so excited. And then You use Edge as a tool to make John Cena reinstate the authority.
Mm-hmm.
Pissed me off. It made me so mad. It makes my blood boil to this day. Of course, Shawn Michaels and Blackface is definitely one that's like, ooh, that's a little gross, but it's okay. Listen, it was the 90s. People done like not excusing it at all, but um, but that Survivor Series one, the whole authority angle. Oh, when they came out and then said, "We're gonna listen to you guys now,"
Yeah.
and did in fact not listen to us. And, and funny enough, Ash, the AJ Lee pipe bomb is on my list.
Like I said,
Not because,
divisive.
Hmm.
yeah, not again. I respect AJ Lee, but it was a lot of perpetuating of a lot of really negative stereotypes that I really didn't appreciate, especially when you look at the people who decided to do total divas like Natalia, Naomi, or it's like it's always, oh, the Bellas got here because of a man, and it's just like, yeah, because John Cena had that much pull when Nikki Bella literally got like almost fired. She left when John Cena was
Mm-hmm.
at the top, and you're saying that talent is sexually transmitted, but then you're doing this pipe bomb, very reminiscent of your current. At the time, they were just dating, but
Mm-hmm.
so it's just like
Yeah,
it was a little hypocritical in a way, and I didn't like AJ Lee for a long time because of that. So
that's
Hmm.
fair. It's very
That's
yeah,
fair.
real. That's fair.
It's a
That's
it's a
fair.
very like that. You want to shake the timeline up? Post that promo. Just post that promo on the timeline. No
yeah,
caption, no nothing. Just drop it off and
So
just
it's funny.
watch.
I just saw that promo. I think like maybe 2 weeks ago. So it's funny you say that. Like every couple months it shows back around, and it truly does, and it gets the girls going every time.
Yeah, I mean, and every point is
hmm
valid. Every point is really valid in all
Yeah,
sides of
it
it.
is.
yep. And but it's like it's one of those things that is divisive, even for me, because it's like I can understand why she felt that way at that time when she's like, "Hey, I'm really good in a average uh women's division. You have me parading around with this butterfly,
Mhm.
and you're not giving me time, but these people are on a TV show and they suddenly get the time that I should be getting as the champion. The way she lost her championship and her title was trash. So I
Yeah,
completely, again, I understand your grievances, but I think it definitely perpetuated a lot of negative things that the fans already had to say about
100%.
the Bellas. And it was like, okay, sure, like that
Yeah,
Vince doesn't care about the women. He does not care who they're attached to. Because if that was the case, Michelle McCool would be like a
a
17
15-time
time.
champion. Yeah,
Yeah, like if
Yep.
that is the case, if we're picking our favorites and you get these opportunities because of the miniature with like Michelle McCool would have got she would have beat Charlotte's record. I mean Ric Flair's record. Charlotte would have had to beat her record. Like it's
yeah.
not, so I get it. That's one of my least favorite things. The poop truck.
Mm. Bringing back a lot of bad memories that I feel like I
I
just
know.
blocked out.
The poop truck was a lot, but like as far as that, I think Raw definitely the good outweighs the bad for sure. There's been
Definitely,
a lot of
definitely.
controversial moments, but so let's make it back a little bit more positive. Who have been you guys' favorite champions from Raw? And we've had a lot.
Mm-mm.
30 years of champions. KB, what
You
about
know I'm
you?
gonna pick Sasha. You know I'm gonna pick Sasha. You know I have to pick Sasha.
Of course.
Of course,
Let's
of
do let's
course.
do men and women champions, like for sure. Like Sasha
So
definitely a woman.
I would say Sasha Roman because you gotta talk about Roman. Gotta talk about Roman. And then I'm gonna throw a tag team in here, the New Day.
Ooh,
Their Raw
yeah.
era was good. Their Raw
Mhm.
their Raw run was
Hmm.
really good. So side note, this is a question that I didn't ask. Do we prefer the brand split or do we like Raw superstars versus Raw and SmackDown where they go to both shows, they travel, or do we prefer it like because I know what I prefer, especially when it comes to separating the talent. I know what I prefer.
Mania time, I don't care. But I feel like I kind of like the brand exclusivity just because it makes everything feel a little bit more important. Like I like the idea of the draft picks, your number one draft pick, all of those things. It kind of gives you like the idea of who they're looking at and who they think is at the top of the division during this current time. So I kind of like the brand split. I'm not opposed to it.
I prefer the brand split, KB.
I like the brand split because, like, when it comes to Survivor Series time, I like when they go against each other, and it
I
gives
miss
time.
that.
It gives more people time to shine. So,
Mhm.
brand split for me.
I hope we do get a Raw versus SmackDown again. I do
Me
miss
too.
that.
Bring in NXT too. I
Even
feel like
throwing
now,
NXT. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I
Bring in
missed
see
that.
NXT.
I
together,
love
yeah.
that Survivor Series. I
I did.
did thoroughly enjoy that Survivor Series where it was Raw versus SmackDown versus. It was a lot to have a bunch of triple threats, but I think that was important. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with that. Like, so of course we know Sasha, not Mercedes.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Don't get me started.
Mercedes.
Sasha. I love Charlotte. So like I love all of Charlotte's reigns. But yeah, I think those are like my then obviously like you have your OGs, but like to keep it current, I'm gonna go current this time. Normally I'm a deep cut queen, but I'm gonna go current this time. Let's see if y'all got some deep cuts for me this time.
Oh, I don't have any deep cuts.
I don't either.
It's fine. It's fine. I know our historian may have one or two.
Hey.
Hmm.
For me, I know this was like, it wasn't, I think it was SmackDown, but Rey Mysterio's 1 day reign, 1 hour reign.
Yeah.
That was a good one for me. Of course, Big Daddy John Cena, you already know. Any of his championships. His US title run for sure, the open challenges, that it was a time I really enjoyed. Like John Cena is definitely my favorite United States champion of all time. Fun fact, he is not a Grand Slam champion. So I hope
Yeah.
he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. It's coming.
Yet. I really enjoy Seth,
Mm-hmm.
that champion. Sasha had a good run, and surprisingly,
Sasha didn't have a good run, but it's fine.
well, she
20 days.
yeah.
He was like 80 days
Like
I
17
would
days.
across
That's
4
one
reigns.
thing I would prefer for Sasha to make it to a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Make it out alive.
Yeah.
Make it
Yeah.
out alive, please. Okay, so
Yeah.
not reigns, but wins. Her championship reigns meant something. They counted. They made a huge impact. Again, when she comes back, because we're gonna get you out. We're gonna get you out.
She don't come. She don't come over.
She know where home is.
When she comes
She
back,
comes
I just want her to survive a PLE, please.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Did she get a
her
Mania win?
The SmackDown reign was a little bit more of like a redemption. She held it for like 100. She held it past
Yeah, she held it
the
longer.
full cumulative Raw, her like 4 Raw reigns. So like that was a win in my book.
Yeah.
But
was
she
my
definitely
too.
needs a proper reign when she comes back.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think Charlotte's first reign as Diva champion, I did enjoy that run as well. And then because that was probably between that and Ronda, that was probably Nikki's like best in ring work with Charlotte, and of course Orton. I enjoyed Orton as the world champion as well. And shout out to Daniel Bryan.
Facts.
Shout out D Bryan. KB, what about you? Your champs?
My favorite is Seth, most definitely. See, I would have said Sasha as well, but I just didn't like the back and forth ping pong between her and Charlotte. And then, I don't play about Liv, but I just feel like Liv, I don't know, I just need better stories for her. But then those would be my 3. Yeah.
Okay.
And I always enjoyed the Usos as champs, so
For sure.
since we're going to tag teams, yeah.
Yeah.
I want them back.
Me too.
Hopefully soon. We got the seeds of it.
Right. A little tease. Little tease.
Little tease. So for me, my favorite champions from Raw, a reign that I didn't really appreciate until after it happened was Becky Lynch's Big Time Bex era. I feel like that was a really, really good reign. It didn't. I feel like the reason why I disliked it so much during it when it was happening was because of how it started. But when it finished, you realize that belt was featured every month on a PLE. That belt was
Yep.
featured weekly on Raw in actual matches, and I think that honestly, that might be one of the last reigns where that was consistently happening. So definitely love that reign, and I also love how it ended. It's a little while back, a little while back now. But another reign that I really appreciated, Bianca Belair's when she became the longest
Oh
reigning
yeah. Definitely hers.
champion, and Big E. I thought that whole entire very short but very sweet. I enjoyed everything in his reign, Big E.
I did too. I really did. I enjoy Big E's reign. I was honestly surprised when they actually put it on him. I was
I was so
happy.
happy. Yeah,
I
that
was
was such
happy.
a Raw.
Special shout out to Seth. You know, we're gonna talk about like who we think are champions of Raw. Like, who are just some names that you feel like are synonymous with Raw, because like you have those names that you're like, okay, SmackDown. For me, like seeing Rey Mysterio on Raw is so strange to me. I'll never get used to it. He's been here longer than I care to admit that I've seen. I've been watching Rey Mysterio since '96, but to me, he
Halloween
is
Havoc.
yeah. Speaking of that, I have my mask. He to me, he's just like synonymous with SmackDown. Who are some superstars that you feel is synonymous with Raw?
Yo, before we get there, I have a reign that I hated. That we need to
Ooh,
talk about.
Ooh,
let's
Ronda
do it.
Rousey. Ronda Rousey.
big thumbs down. Big thumbs down. Big
Google
thumbs
that.
down.
Make sure that it was on Raw because I know she bounced back and forth a little bit. But like, yeah, we need to talk about how terrible that
Oh
reign. Actually,
yeah,
we don't need to talk about it. We're just gonna like put a pin in that for one day, maybe. But anything, but
look
Ronda
like
Rousey's reign,
that. Ronda
Wasn't
Rousey.
feeling it
undeserving, wasn't good.
Ronda Rousey.
in general.
That's my least favorite thing about Raw. Period. Like,
Ronda Rousey, yeah.
yeah, just like that. Why are you here? Because it started out so strong, so I had high hopes. Because I really enjoyed her debut match with Kurt Angle and Triple H stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed it, so I'm like, this is great. We're gonna pair her with people. And then she was like, I have a mic, and we were like, no,
No.
Give it back. Just give it back, baby. Go ahead and give me that match
no,
back. Give me that match.
Roman Reigns gesture.
like let's not talk.
Please.
Yeah.
Like that's not speak, because like I didn't enjoy how she came to the WWE with the Royal Rumble win. It was the first women's Rumble, like that she kind of took away the spotlight. So I was like, okay, let me not be a super hater of this woman. Let's see what she got. And then I was like, oh, I'm thoroughly impressed. And then it was like, oh no, this is gonna get worse, and it's gonna get worse, and then we're gonna put multiple belts on her, and then good luck.
it just
So
didn't.
yeah,
What were you gonna say?
no, I was.
Oh, okay. I do think that there was like a one diamond in the rough match that she had at Royal Rumble against Sasha Banks. That was like really the only match that I really liked. But even in that match, she dislocated my sister's shoulder.
I was gonna say, and in that match, Sasha
Yeah.
got hurt, and even then, like Sasha carried. So like, I see what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, but like, name a Ronda Rousey match that was good. You really can't.
Her match at Evolution with Nikki Bella. If Nikki Bella can carry you in a match, and not saying that's no shade. Nikki is a very serviceable and skilled wrestler, but let's be real here. Nikki has never carried anything.
Ring general,
but that
she's
baby
not.
So Nikki ain't never carried nothing but her child. So like, if Nikki is carrying you, and you could visibly see her getting frustrated. Like, if Natty can't help you, we can't help you. I don't know.
Facts.
Yeah,
If
that's so real.
Natty can't
That's so
help you,
real.
we can't help you. So, I think when she left, and I was like, "Oh, Ronda Rousey's leaving," and we're like,
Thank
"Good,
you.
oh,
See ya.
good."
See ya.
For the best.
When
For the
Liv
best.
when Liv pinned her,
I missed it. I went out and I missed it. Oh my goodness. And I woke up the next morning like Liv is now champion. I said, what? Because I just thought, because she won Money in the Bank. She won Money in the Bank. I was lit that night. I said I could go to sleep. I see her win. Had some tequila. Good. Woke up. She won. I said, I didn't miss it.
Man.
you're like, "I need to watch the Ronda Rousey match."
Yeah, I've seen enough. Yeah, like I've seen enough.
I've seen enough. Woke up like, oh,
We're good. And then you're gonna try to take Shayna down with you. Like, okay, we can never mind. We can
Ooh, that's a bigger. Yeah, that's a. Yeah.
It's a bigger conversation. So yeah, sorry, from my random sidebar. Back to like your the positive things on Raw, right? Because that was
Yes. Sure. I think there are certain terms, people that are synonymous and characters that are synonymous, like with Seth. I think Seth Rollins is, to me, a Raw guy. Monday Night Messiah. Monday Night Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. I can't see him going to SmackDown, and I don't see why he would. I think he's one of the people that will wave that flag for Raw until he doesn't anymore. The Rock is, even though The Rock is SmackDown, for me, I think that he's synonymous Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Triple H. And Triple H.
It's a good one.
That Evolution era.
Shawn Michaels.
He's not being allegations.
Shawn
Michaels.
You said what? What you say?
I said, even though he's not beating the allegations right now.
Go back to the SmackDown conversation.
Yeah.
What about you, Ash? Who do you feel is synonymous with?
Asuka. I feel like Asuka. She's had like a couple of really prominent reigns, Raw Women's Championship reigns under the Raw brand. So I feel like Asuka is someone who comes to mind when I think of women. I'm trying to pick like a woman. I'm trying to think of like a woman pick.
I have a woman.
Natalia would be a good one. Did you have
Becky
one, Katie?
Lynch?
Becky Lynch. Yeah, that was like a ginormous. Yeah, like that was obvious. I'm like,
yeah,
like searching far and wide.
It's just there are certain moments that like I just think about that it's so funny that I was a SmackDown girly, but like I can just think of like Raw for me because I think it is 3 hours. It's crazy.
Pandemic era when Sasha and Bailey got all the gold.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
That's one of my favorite eras. Yeah.
That's good. What do you guys hope to see improve on Raw moving to Netflix? This is a question.
Hopefully they don't have to rush. They should be able to time everything because, like I said, this one is just the first one for 2 hours. So we'll just see how it's going to be with starting tomorrow. But just hopefully it gets a little better with time. I feel like something unnecessary needs to just get cut. Like, I would just have to wait and see. Honestly, for me.
Yeah.
Same.
I think that with it being 2 hours, they're not having any commercials, correct? So they're going straight through
on Netflix.
Yeah.
They might do like ads or something like that, like specific like adverts for like sponsorships and stuff like that, but probably not. No.
Do you think this era of champions that we have now is going to lead us into that Netflix? Do you think who we have now is champion? Nope.
Nope. I think Liv is dropping soon.
Ooh.
I think Liv's reign is coming to an end here. I think Liv's reign is coming to an end here soon.
It makes me sad.
It does. I
It
think,
does.
but it's the right call to end it a little soon. I think if this goes past Survivor Series, I'll be shocked.
Agreed.
Mm.
If this goes past Survivor Series, it has to be a
Good
maybe
story.
a War Games, maybe a War Games. It's the Judgment Day. Maybe the Terror Twins find people who.
Yeah,
I
I really hope this we don't get. I really hope SmackDown gets the War Games match. I really hope the women on SmackDown get the War Games match this year because it's obvious like Team Rhea, Team Liv, but it's like oh my gosh,
yeah, I
oh
just
my
really
gosh.
feel like with the Judgment Day, and if they keep Liv as champion, it has to be written better. It's just getting okay. Like
It's getting
it,
worse. It's getting worse. Like let's be
Yeah,
It's getting
honest.
worse
Call a spade
now.
a spade. It's
yeah,
getting worse.
yeah,
yeah. If they did something where it was like where Becky told Bianca like get to the back of the line, bitch, like get in the back of the line, and Rhea literally did that while
It
Liv
has.
was occupied with other opponents, and then they kind of like meet back up at WrestleMania. That would be something that's
Hmm.
interesting. But it seems like they're still going all in with this feud based off what happened on SmackDown. So
I did enjoy SmackDown though. I did enjoy Liv coming out, watching a match, interfering, and Naomi getting a win. I did
yeah, I
enjoy
like
that.
everybody in everybody's business right now. I think
Yeah,
I kind of
Yeah,
like that element of it. Yeah,
I
but
think that's what Survivor Series should be. The Survivor Series season. That's when we need to bend the rules of like who's on what brand, especially because it's like more than likely it might be another invasion. I do miss the hard line of SmackDown versus Raw. I do miss
mhm.
that, and I would love to have a SmackDown versus Raw War Games, like something like that. I heard that they're gonna try to push Liv and Rhea out to Mania, which would be
no, that's too long.
I think
Wrap it
that
up,
that
please, y'all.
yeah, like
Wrap it up.
I'm ready, like
Yeah.
because now we have Raquel. We got Raquel and her back
And
are
she's
back.
giving us nothing. Raquel is giving us
They're
nothing.
still running. They're still running. How do you have a heavy and you're still running away? Like Triple H's like obsession
Raquel is
with
giving us
protecting
nothing.
Rhea ruined this feud. Triple H's
Yeah,
obsession with protecting Rhea has ruined this feud, unfortunately, because even Roman Reigns was able to look weak on Friday. There's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that for the story.
Especially if you're
Like
being
those,
outnumbered.
yes. These things are important to tell a story. If Rhea's just washing everybody every week, what's the appeal here?
Yeah.
If it's
No,
very
I
obvious
agree.
that Rhea's gonna take the belt back, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't like. I tend to don't like the. I do enjoy the feud because I do think that Liv can be a formidable opponent to Rhea, but I enjoyed it a couple of months ago. I enjoyed the
Yeah.
story. The story, the actual base story, is great.
Mhm.
Like they were friends. They were tag team partners. Liv moved on and got a new tag team partner. Rhea joined the dark side essentially, and
Yeah.
then injured her and her tag team partner. It makes sense to why Raquel is pissed at Rhea. It makes sense
Yeah.
to why everything makes sense, but the execution is what the issue is.
Yeah.
Hmm. Agreed.
Like,
It
give,
is like
okay.
what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, give us what we want, but the
Yes,
way we want
100%.
it. Like, I know it's like we parents are picky, but give us what we want the way we want it, please.
Yeah. Like they really didn't have to add anything to this story because now, even when you look at it, like Rhea's character has suffered a bit from it because we know that Rhea is the most popular and most powerful woman in her division. But she keeps losing because of a boy, because she keeps getting distracted when it's like the final moments, when it's time to bring it home, hit that riptide, she decides, no, I'm going to get out of the ring and get back at my ex for some reason. Getting back at your ex would be getting your title back. Sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand like these story beats and these character beats that they're having them do because it's now making them suffer.
Yeah,
It's not right. It's not right.
and
It's not right.
it should be focused on the betrayal, whereas like the story didn't need Dominic at all.
It didn't.
But and like she's like, oh, I took all your friends, but it's like you left me, you gave me my best friend. It would be different if Damien joined up with them because they're the Terra twins. That'll be more stake in the game. But you gave me the biggest one. Thanks. Like, oh,
Yeah. The
like,
best
oh,
one, yeah.
I win the best one. Like,
The franchise
how is
player. Like, okay,
like
thanks.
y'all are supposed to have a one up on me, but we are washing y'all every week. Like, end it. But
Yeah. I think it's time to call it, unfortunately. Everybody's doing fantastic work in the feud, though. I do think like Liv is doing like some of her best work in her career.
Oh yeah,
Like
this is
the
her best.
believability is there. The chemistry is there with Dom. They're doing a fantastic job. It's just I just wish they were given something better. I just
Those
wish they were
acting
given
classes
something
have
better.
paid off. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Out of her
Mm-hmm.
growth,
oh,
for
really?
sure, for sure.
One thing about Liv though, you give her a turd, she gonna polish it.
She's the believability. Like she really takes the like whatever they give her, she takes it and goes 100%, which I really, really appreciate. And it's very commendable on her part. But man, that was a like probably again, like I'm gonna say it's probably like my most disappointing feud of the year.
And
Yeah,
it could have been so much better.
I agree. I agree. Do we think that Gunther holds it for a while?
I think so.
I
I
think he's
think so.
champion leading
Sure,
into
why
Mania.
not?
Yeah,
Like, why
I
not?
think so. I'm not
I think
opposed to
He just
another
needs a
long
good
run.
opponent. He needs a good opponent, though. That's the thing. You got to find somebody to like for it to make sense.
Yeah.
For me, I think we should switch. I think there are no heels on SmackDown.
Mm.
Really, there are really no formidable heels on SmackDown. Put Gunther over there and give us Cody.
Yeah.
I like Cody on Raw. To be
I think
honest.
he fits Raw better, but
The Cody Reign on SmackDown and Cody's on SmackDown is like a different conversation. It's a different conversation because I've been enjoying the Reign. I just don't like a lot of the bloodline stuff that they've been doing with him.
agreed. I think again because there are no heels on SmackDown. Give him somebody new. Like you don't
Somebody
have anybody but the bloodline.
new.
You'd have nobody but the bloodline that I can think is believable enough to take on Cody. But I have so many opponents over there that I think can take on Gunther. And as far as over here, I feel like there's nobody next in line for Gunther. But it's weird to explain, I guess. Like, but there's so many people that could have that we could have against Cody, Seth. Like he has so many built-in storylines over here. So if that was me and I was booking it, of course I'm not trips. I don't know. But if I was booking it, I would have had those two switch. I think next superstar shakeup, that's something that we severely need to look into.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. And I'm looking forward to the next superstar shakeup. Now, that is all I have for today. That's all we have for today. Anybody have any final thoughts on Raw? Any final moments you guys thought about?
Mm-mm.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining Lip Gloss and Ladders for this show. Gabby, where can we find you?
You guys can find me at Charm City Gabby pretty much everywhere. And look out for my YouTube. I'm dropping videos weekly of various content.
Ooh, 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 ooh. And Ash, where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at ash_Benny, or if you want to see some of my wrestling content, that's Benny's Block _.
And KB.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Meticulous Key.
And you can find me on Instagram at Genius Reed. It's right there. That's the spelling of it. And on TikTok at Reese Watches Wrestling. Don't forget watches with an S. All right, you guys. Thank you so much again for joining us. And as always, don't forget to put down that lip gloss and pick up that ladder. Let's go, guys. Bye.